It's Mike. I am back, and I'm ready to talk about some Krishna stuff. I'm going to take a look at one of these fraudulent gurus, and I'm going to talk about a little bit more about these Ritviks, some of these Ritviks. Um, well, a couple of them in particular, but I'm going to get to that, and we're going to get started right now. I'm going to do the whole opening. Let's go.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. Hey, so thanks for joining in. Let's see, what do we got here? We got Hayden Erickson. Hey, thanks for joining in today. I got some great stuff today. And let's see, we got Dahlia Roberts. Hey, great to see you here. I'm glad that you stopped by. And so anyway, hey, so I'm not all up to date on everything that's gone on with the Hare Krishnas in the last 12, 13 years. Although I do know some, I have heard some stuff. I don't live in a vacuum, but I don't stay up to date on everything. Hey, favorite place on YouTube? Yeah, it's my favorite place too, because I get to associate with you guys, and we have our own little sangha here, our own little ISKCON or whatever you want to call it, and it is really it's really great, and so anyway. I don't keep up to date on every single thing that's going on. So, but Rafal sends me stuff all the time, and he sent me something about this Keshava Bharati guy that I didn't know. I didn't know anything about this guy really. I think I heard his name, but I didn't really know anything about him. So I looked into that, and boy, wow. So so a lot to get to about this guy. And if any of you who may know more about him, I hope you join in. But first, before I get to that, I want to talk about these Ritviks a little bit, and this pod guy in particular. Just real quickly, I just want to say, I'm going to go to his page here, and this is what I'm talking about. So you see that it's coming from his webpage. And I'm just going to read a little bit, and then I'm going to comment on what he has to say here. He says, so it says here, thanks for your question, MJ Prabhu, because these people, they never want to leave their names, okay? They're afraid. They're in a cult. They're in a spiritual organization, and they're afraid to use their names. And I understand why they're afraid to use their names. They're afraid to use their names, okay? Even this pod guy, he just goes by pod. He says, thanks for your question, MJ Prabhu. And then he goes on to say, this Mathurapati in Germany has a nice temple program in Germany. They distribute books, and pod should thus support his program instead of criticizing. So I guess this MJ Prabhu, I guess, is saying this about pod. So now pod says, okay, well, there are many nice temple programs, including GBC, Gaudiya Math, and numerous others that are very nice. In fact, around here in the Bay Area, there are many nice Hindu temples with nice deities and programs. One of those programs is the local Bangalore branch Ritvik Temple near Silicon Valley, which has 40 acres, cows, gardens, go pujas, wonderful deities, and etc. And then he says, however, Mathurapati is against these programs and us Ritviks. Us Ritviks. So again, with the us Ritviks, as if the Ritviks is one singular group. It's not. Ritvik is an idea. And there are a lot of different people that agree with that idea. That doesn't make them all one group of Ritviks. A lot of these people don't even know each other. Okay, he says, Mathurapati is against these programs and us Ritviks, including Pod and Madhu Pandit's program, and he criticizes us. Pod has no program. Pod is not a program. Pod is one guy. So then he says his main criticisms against Pod, one guy, is we help stop ISKCON's children from being starved, beaten, and raped in the GBC schools. He didn't help anybody. He's never helped any. I mean, like me, he speaks out. He doesn't do anything. Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you here, Trey. He's never done anything. The guy's never done a thing. So anyway, he hasn't helped anyone. He hasn't helped stop ISKCON's children from being starved, beaten, and raped any more than I could say that I've helped children from being starved, beaten, and raped. I could say, well, my videos are out there and they help people. My videos are helping people. But I'm not so self-centered and grandiose head to say, hey, I'm helping millions of people, or I'm helping all these children from being beaten, starved, and molested because I have a podcast on, or I have a YouTube channel. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm hoping that I'm helping somebody. I'm doing it to help people, but I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm helping so many people, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing." I mean, that's just insanity. It's absolute insanity. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Glad to see you're here. Absolutely, man. It's glad to see everybody here. So, the first thing I want to say is he's got no program. He's not doing anything. He hasn't helped anybody. And the other thing is these Ritviks, and this goes for all of them, not just Pod, but Yashodanandan and Dhamma and any of these other Ritviks. Hey, Rafael, glad to see you're here, man. I got your email, and I'm doing a whole show about this guy. I didn't know anything about this guy. Although I think I'd heard his name, but he's just another fraud to me. But these Ritviks, there are plenty of places where these Ritviks could go. Yashodanandan, he could go to Bangalore and move into their temple with Madhu Pandit. He didn't want to do that. And he could play Swami over there. He could get up 4:30, go to Mangalarti, go to Guru Puja. He could sit, give a lecture. He could do all of that. He could do all of that stuff. Yashodanandan could do that. He could dress up and he could have his stick and he could do all of that stuff. Madhu Pandit would have him do that. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to live in Downey and have a house and a wife and play Hare Krishna when he wants to play Hare Krishna. And he'll have a fire sacrifice when he wants to play with the wood and the ghee and do his little fire sacrifice voodoo ceremony, whatever you want to call it, you know? And cosplay as a and pour the ghee and do the chanting and doing all of that stuff. He loves that stuff. He could go do that in Bangalore. He could do that up in San Jose at the Bangalore Ritvik Branch Temple in Silicon Valley. They don't even have to move to India. They could just move to San Francisco, and they could go live at this Bangalore Branch Ritvik Temple. It's got 40 acres, cows, gardens, go pujas, wonderful deities. I mean, Pod is broadcasting it like it's the greatest thing on earth. Why doesn't he go move in there? What's stopping him? What is stopping Pod and his program from just going into the Bangalore branch Ritvik temple. That's what they want. They want a Ritvik temple. They don't want these gurus, so now they have it. They got Bangalore. They got a temple in Vrindavan. I'm sure they got something in Mayapur. They got a thing in Silicon Valley. Why aren't all these Ritviks going and joining these temples and showing them how it's done? Why aren't they doing that? Why aren't they going, yeah, Dharmagosh and Nrsimha and all of these guys? Because they're full of shit. They don't want to do that. They want to be in charge of their own little place with their wife and their kids, and they can and their whatever. And Dharmagosh can grow his vegetables on his land. He's got his house and he's got his own 40 acres. What does he need? What does he need Bangalore for? What are they gonna teach him for? He's Dharmagosh. He's an old time pro. This is a bunch of bullshit. How come your Shodananda? What he wants to live in Downey, working for British Petroleum or wherever he works. He doesn't want to be Swami with a stick and go lecture all day and go chant japa and go feed the cows and do all that shit that he says that he bullshits about. He can go do it. He didn't even have to go to India. He can go to San Francisco. They got a really nice temple with 40 acres and cows and gardens and pujas and deities. Pod doesn't want to do it. Shit, these temples have been around for 10, 15, 20 years. They don't want to go move into these temples and play Hare Krishna. They don't want to be Hare Krishnas under and living in a temple like they say, like they lecture. Sure, they'll read Prabhupada's books and lecture to everybody about how they need to do this and do that, and Sanatana Dharma and the Varnas and the ashrams and the this and the that. But are they going to do it? Fuck no, they ain't going to do it. You sure they ain't going to do it? These guys ain't going to do it. Hey, Liam, how you doing? Please keep exposing this fraud cult and its fraudster members who have never had any realization of this, what does it say, of this damn bogus stuff at all. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm telling you, these guys, some of these guys are lecturing. They know less than me. They spent less time in the Hare Krishna than I did. And when I look back, when I'm meeting more and more devotees, and I find out like 20 years is a long time. I put a lot of time into this thing. Some people are like, yeah, I spent 10 years, I spent 5 years, 7, 9, 12, 10. And I'm like, well, fuck, man. I spent 20. And of course, there's people that are still in it. They 50, 60, 70, 50, 70 years is bullshit. I know him personally. Got to know him back in ISKCON, Mumbai. He was in between sannyasa ashrams. These guys, man, they're lost. They're all lost. Because even when you got a guy who's, well, let's get into it, okay? Let's just get into it. We're going to get right into it. Look, and Rafal's here. He knows because he brought this to my attention. Now, he's just another guy. You go, damn, this guy, he's just another one. He's just another one. There's nothing special about him. It's like you go, fuck, well, look what he did and all the shit that he did. Well, yeah, but he's no different than anybody else. He's no different than any of the other ones. I looked him up to try and find out. Oh my God. I was like, who is this guy? Because I know this name. I've heard this name before. Probably fraud book coming soon. That's good to know. That's good to know, absolutely. What did I do? I missed it. They need to be awakened by the truth. This bogus philosophy will destroy your life for no reasons. That's why I do these videos. And sometimes, I tell you the truth, sometimes I feel like I've said enough and I don't need to, but there's always new people. There's always new people that are coming along. There's always going to be someone new that's going to find my video. And if the video is not new, then it's not going to pop up on someone's feed. People are, it's going to get, old videos get buried. They just, as more stuff gets piled on top. So you got to keep it new and fresh. And I know that even though sometimes I feel like, God, I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over again. But there's always new people that don't know. There's always new people that come in and don't know. Even though maybe, I've been saying it for over a year, there's always people that are going to come along and not know. The former Prince of Bhagwan, yeah, that guy. So yeah, so let's get into it. So I was looking this guy up to find out, so I could find out because I read, I kind of went backwards. I read the stuff about him, the most recent stuff about him, which didn't talk about what he did. So I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out what he did, and oh my God, I hit the mother load. Let me tell you, I hit the mother load with this. I feel like so I ended up on this page here. Um, I I ended up on this page. It's Rada News, whatever. I don't know when this was. It says Texas sexual predator Messiah, and then it says 2024. So this is recent. This is not old. This is recent. Um, anyway, so this is talking about this guy's being worshipped today. But I wanted to find out what what he did, what he did in the past, like what what he did. So if I scroll down on this, page, um, there's a lot of stuff here. Of course, there's our pod guy in there. He's always everywhere. Um, but I guess he's having a little chat. But here's the timeline. So finally, I got to it. Here's a timeline of this guy's Keshava Bharati's activities, and I don't think I ever found out his real name. Um, I don't know. I don't know this guy's real name, but I'm sure we'll figure it out at some point. At some point, we'll figure it out. But let's see. So it goes back here. Let me get to here, and okay. It says, okay, and I don't know if Rafael, if you've read this, if you know all of this stuff, maybe you do. Uh, you can comment if you want, but it says here, here's a timeline of Keshava Bharati's activities, including abuse of children and young women. 1977, Keshava Bharati bragged that he slapped silly, a 14-year-old runaway that had sought shelter at the Kansas City temple. 1979, Keshava Bharati took sannyas from Tamal Krishna Goswami in Dallas, leaving his wife and 6-year-old son. So there, that just tells you, that confirms what I've been saying for a long time, is that they don't care about women or children, because these guys will just up and leave their wives and their children whenever they feel like it. I'm going to Mayapur. I'm going to India. I'm going to go preach. I'm going to do whatever, and I don't want my woman anymore. I don't need my wife anymore. I'm tired of her. I wanted her when I wanted to have sex with her. That was but that was a few years ago. That was like a year ago. I'm not interested in that anymore. I kind of got over that hump, and now no pun intended. I got over that hump, and now I don't want anything to do with my wife and my 6-year-old son. My 6-year-old son. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. Hey Dan, I see your comments here. Let me see. Premananda Das needs to be exposed for crimes committed in his temples. He berates women and pretty much treats them like garbage. He's clearly not heterosexual. Yeah, these guys got issues, man. I mean, any man that's just got issues with women just for being female, he's got issues, man. The guy's got issues. I'm sorry. And you can say, well, history. Men have had issues for all throughout history. I mean, come on, whacking a woman over the head with a club, so you can drag her back to your cave, man. You got issues. You got issues, man. I don't know what to say. Mr. Villia, Ehrlichman is the biggest con. Yeah, his kids are all traumatized and have. Yeah, I heard his kids. I heard his kids are really messed up. Yeah, Bhagavan is. So evidently, this guy was. I don't know. We'll get to Bhagavan in a minute, but okay. So he left his wife and his 6-year-old son in 1979. In 1982, Keshava Bharati locked 18-year-old Radha. It doesn't say Radha. It just says 18-year-old Ardasi because they don't want to release their names. And I don't. And I understand. I mean, I'm not. But this is a spiritual organization, and you can't even reveal the truth of who you are and what happened to you because you're afraid of repercussions for speaking out the truth. I mean, that happens in the mob, and that happens in criminal organizations, and that happens in shady places. But in a spiritual organization that's preaching love of God and truthfulness and the what is it? The 26 qualities of a devotee and all of these things. And yet these people feel like they can't use their real names because they're afraid of getting shot in a van on Canfield Avenue, whatever. I mean, is that really a spiritual organization? These people want to speak out about this guy because this guy is abusing people, and they're afraid to speak out about him abusing people. How fucking insane is that? And they don't call themselves a religion, a spiritual organization, an ancient tradition of what? An ancient tradition of abusing people and covering it up and being afraid of using your real name. Is that what this ancient tradition is? Just fucking. I- I'm at 1982. I'm already fucking pissed off. That's how fucking. I don't know his real name, however. This sannyas bullshit was all Prabhupada's idea. Lure these guys in, then give these folks a sense of a golden ticket. Absolutely. Anything to get them to sell his books and bring more people in. It's like a multi-level marketing scam. Multi-level marketing scam. No such thing as ancient tradition. There's no such thing as ancient tradition. It ain't ancient. It ain't ancient. The books aren't 5,000 years old. There's no ancient tradition. There ain't no parampara. There ain't no sampradaya. It's a scampradaya. It's a scampradaya, and the parampara is nothing but a bunch of scammers. It's just a line of scammers going back to the head scammer. That's all it is. Absolutely, man. It just satisfy their megalomaniac, narcissistic needs, the prestige, the recognition, the unlimited funds. And Prabhupada knew that. Prabhupada knew what he was doing when he made these. Prabhupada knew what he was doing. Fuck. He knew he was exploiting them. He was cheating them. He'd laugh in their faces. He'd laugh in their faces. He said, one of them came to him and said, we don't like preaching to the Indians because they cheat us and fool us. And Prabhupada said, well, do you think that I've cheated you? And I'm Indian. Do you think I've cheated you and fooled you? And they said, oh, no, Prabhupada, you haven't cheated us and fooled us. And he said, no, absolutely, I have. I've turned you all into devotees. I've totally tricked you into being devotees. He told him right to their faces. Women and men abusers, absolutely. And these women in the movement in the early days were enablers. They're enablers. How can you be treated like shit and read about having a small brain and less intelligent and all of these things and then just go right along with it? And you're totally enabling these. You're enabling these guys. Jadharani and Govinda, whatever her name was, and the other one, I can't remember. All those early women that joined. because they were getting something out of it too. Oh, I have a guru, and he's an authentic guru from India, and now I'm a disciple, and I've got a name. I've got this. Such crap. Okay, so back to the back to the fact that these people are afraid to use their names. In 1982, Keshava Bharati locked 18-year-old Ardasi in a room and tried to touch her inappropriately. Ardasi contemplated leaving New Raj Mandala after this. So this is 1982. 1982 is the first time he tries something with a girl, and she contemplates leaving New Raj Mandala. So obviously, she didn't leave because she only contemplated it. So the very next year, 1983, Keshava Bharati sexually assaulted 23-year-old M. Dasi, another one who doesn't want to use her name, who then ran away from New Raj Mandala. So this New Raj Mandala seemed like a little, like a spiritual Epstein's Island or something. Keshava Bharati sexually assaulted a 23-year-old M. Dasi. 1983 to 1986, Keshava Bharati used temple money to hire prostitutes. Now, of course, I'm just reading these allegations. This is from someone who obviously knew him at the time. I don't know if these allegations are true or not, and I don't even know what this Keshava Bharati's real name is. So this is some person named Keshava Bharati. If you go by this name and the shoe fits, then pretty much this could be you. Otherwise, I don't know who the. We'll show a picture. We'll show a picture of the alleged culprit because we'll get to that in a minute. Keshava Bharati used temple money to hire prostitutes. 1983, Keshava Bharati came to Madrid from London. A doctor regularly gave Keshava Bharati medicine injections to treat his venereal disease. Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Please like and subscribe. And hey, Mike, I sent an email about Gopanandini Dasi defending Prabhupada's teachings. I went, okay, great. Yeah, I've been waiting for that. You said you're going to send it, and I thought maybe I deleted it by accident or something. So I definitely wanted to, yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. Absolutely. I've been expecting it, and I thought maybe I deleted it. So, but thanks. I'll check it out. So it says he got venereal disease and he's getting treatment since 1983. So I don't know who's writing this, but it sounds like somebody who may know, may have been an assistant or somebody in the inner circle of this guy. It says in 1984, Keshava Bharati came to Madrid from the United States with gonorrhea. In 1984, he sexually harassed a 19-year-old H. Dasi in Malaga, Spain. New Raj Mandala is far away farm in Spain. I've been there, spoke with devotees who chased Keshava with broomsticks. Wow. Calling him a vomit-eating fallen sannyasi. Wow. Well, that's great. There you go. My goodness. Okay, he sexually harassed a 19-year-old H. Dasi in Malaga, Spain. Keshava Bharati in 1985, he regularly called young Gurukula girls to his room alone, grooming them. He asked one girl to massage his feet and later sexually abused her. So it sounds like your typical ISKCON guru type thing. This is a really bad case. I had no idea about this case. I really didn't. I mean, I knew, I'd heard his name, but like I said, until I started doing these videos, I really wasn't paying any attention to ISKCON. I was getting my own life together. But this is quite the rap sheet, as they say in the legal circles, right? This is quite the rap sheet. So 1985, he's calling young girls Gurukula girls to his room. 1985-86, Vaishnava Dharma, New Raj Mandala vice president, was going door to door and met a woman at a brothel who said, "I know all about you people. The short American with the ponytail and big nose comes here all the time." Yeah, that happens. That happens when Mama-san tells on you. When the Mama-san tells on you, that's not good. 1986-87, Keshava Bharati admitted to visiting prostitutes with temple money. His sannyas was revoked, and he moved to Soho. He has not been welcome in ISKCON, Spain since. Okay. Everyone will get exposed here for defending crimes against humanity. ISKCON is full of lies, parasites, and worms. You know, look, if you could say like if they had one of these gurus, you know, every one of these things happens like every 10 years, or one of these things happens every 5 years, but to have multiple things going on simultaneously from the very beginning up until now is insane. It's insane. Like, how do you not look at this and go, this is a fucking pedophile factory? This is a goddamn pedophile factory. This has been going on since 1980. What did we say? 1982. 1982. So the big guy with the big nose comes here all the time, the short American with the big nose. And then 87, Keshava Bharati admitted to visiting prostitutes. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so 1992, Keshava Bharati was added to the ISKCON sannyas waiting list. So you're going to tell me that all of these things, nobody knew about any of these things. And they're like, yeah, let's put this guy on the waiting list. You got to be fucking out. You want me to believe that? You really want me to believe all these things? All these things are just imaginary and made up in someone's mind. So, like, these things never happen? A wheel of idiot. ISKCON is the hub of worms. So you want me to believe none of this stuff ever happened? This is all imaginary. No, all of this stuff happened. All this stuff happened. Even Raphael says that he went there, and they told him about how they chased this guy out because the guy's a friggin' scumbag. This guy's a fucking scumbag. And they know about him, and they chased him out of there. So now he's on. So 1992, that's when I joined. So 1992, when I joined, the year that I joined, this guy is added to the ISKCON sannyas waiting list. 2003, swimmer pod. Shiva Ram Swami gives sannyas to Keshava Bharati without permission from the ISKCON GBC. So there you go. So swimmer pod takes it upon himself to make this molester pod a guru, a sannyasi, and without permission from ISKCON. So they go. So now they're both going rogue. Swimmer pod and Keshava Bharati are just doing their own thing at this point, right? And ISKCON's like, 2006, ISKCON GBC approved Keshava Bharati as a guru. So they're like, yeah, okay. All right, you went behind our backs and you did something wrong, but you know what? Hey, what do we care? what do we care? 2014 to 2017. So this is after I left. One ISKCON North American leader said Keshava Bharati would shame his disciples, calling them names and yell at them, and would refuse to take responsibility when concerns about his behavior were raised. Well, gee, I wonder where he learned that from. Please expose these old Prabhu fraud disciples ruining other people's lives with their teachings and brainwashing. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. We got to do what we can. We got to do what we can. I'm doing what I can, and if you could like, share, and subscribe so more people can watch, maybe we can get to people. We can warn them, and that's the most important thing, is warning people before they take the bait. Once they take the bait and they're hooked, we know how it is, right? We know. We were there. It's hard to get someone out. It's hard to get someone out, but it's easy to keep them from joining. You go, hey, you don't want to get out of that. It's a bunch of pedophiles. I was in it. I know. They're pedophiles. I know the books. I know. I can warn people. it's not easy getting that hook out of their mouth. But if I can warn them not to take the bait, then that's 90% of the battle right there, is warning them and letting people know. If 200 people watch my videos, that's 200 people that at least have heard, and they know. They plant the seed, like they say, whatever. That's 200 people that didn't know before that know. It's really hard to get someone out. It's really hard, as we all know. It's really hard to it's really hard to get someone out, but we can stop them from getting help. Hopefully, we can stop them from getting in. 2018 and 19, Keshava Bharati sexually and emotionally harassed Bhakti M, driving her away from the Houston temple. 2018, Bhakta M witnessed Keshava Bharati bringing a suitcase full of illegal drugs into the United States. Allegedly. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if these things are true. But what we do know is that the ISKCON Child Protection Office in 2023, ISKCON Child Protection Office received allegations of child abuse perpetrated by Keshava Bharati, started an investigation on him, and placed the following restrictions on him. So if they put restrictions on him, they must have found something. Otherwise, why would you restrict somebody who didn't do anything wrong? That doesn't make sense. You didn't do anything wrong, well, we're going to put restrictions on you? No, they put restrictions on him because they found out that he did something wrong. Gee, it only took you 40 years. It only took you 41 years to figure out this guy did something wrong. So they put restrictions on him. He may not carry out initiations. Oh my goodness, wow, that's a real penalty. That is a real penalty. You can't carry out initiations. He must not give class, lead kirtan, harinam, or any public worship. Oh my goodness, that's a real consequence. I mean, oh my goodness. What good is being a guru if you can't give class, lead kirtan, or offer any public worship? I mean, what good are you? I mean, he must not publicly represent ISKCON in any way. Oh my goodness, now we're talking. You can't publicly represent ISKCON. So take that ISKCON Guru card out of your wallet. You no longer can use your ISKCON Guru card. How do you feel now, Mr. Guru? Don't you feel really ashamed? What's the next thing they're going to go? Put him in the penalty box for 5 minutes? 5 minutes in the penalty box for touching a girl. They might as well. That's what it sounds like. Must not engage in any service connected with minors. Oh, you think? You think so? Wow, how did you come to that conclusion? And why is that? Why would you stop him from associated with minors unless he did something with a minor? They're totally protecting this guy. December 2023, ISKCON Child Protection Office found Keshava Bharati guilty of child sexual abuse and removed him from leadership within ISKCON. Well, it only took you 41 years, but you found him guilty of child sexual abuse. This is another example of many horror stories. Why doesn't he take responsibility for his actions and leave ISKCON? Why doesn't ISKCON take responsibility for his actions and remove him permanently from ISKCON? Kick him out. Don't just remove him from leadership. Kick him out. Completely out. You don't get to be a guru in ISKCON ever again. You can't come back. You're not allowed in the temples. You're not allowed at the farms. You're not allowed at ISKCON. You can't go to Mayapur. You can't go to Vrindavan. Just go away. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So here, it says here, this is from a post. This is from a post on Facebook. and it says, and let me show you so I, I know you believe me, but for the people watching, I'm not making it up. This is from a post. And it says, wait, what did it say? February February 3rd. It says, yesterday, Facebook removed my February 3rd, 2024 post about Keshava Bharati. I am reposting it here now. Thank you to the ISKCON Child Protection Office for their decision on Keshava Bharati, Swami. One of the restrictions the CPO placed on Keshava Bharati was removing him from leadership for 8 years. 8 years is an arbitrary number. Lifetime restrictions should be the standard for all CPO decisions. Why is one abuser given 8 years, another 10 years, another lifetime restrictions? If someone is a confirmed child abuser, that person has permanently disqualified themselves from holding any leadership role in ISKCON. Lifetime restrictions on leadership are supported by the ISKCON Governing Body Commission's resolutions from 2018. No person who has been determined to have engaged in severe maltreatment of children will be allowed to remain active in a position of authority or trust within ISKCON. This includes activities such as leading kirtan, giving class, speaking publicly or at any ISKCON event, or representing ISKCON in official capacities. The CPO originally prohibited Keshava Bharati from staying overnight in any ISKCON facility, but then the ISKCON GBC Executive Committee intervened and requested that KBDG, Krishna Bharati, be permitted to reside at one ISKCON facility, such as ISKCON Govardhan. After the GBC's EC interference, the CPO capitulated and agreed to let Keshava Bharati live at the ISKCON Govardhan Palace, revising their original decision. It goes on. This post goes on, and then it ends. It ends down here. It says, the issue with Keshava Bharati residing at the ISKCON Govardhan Palace or anywhere in India is that the victim considers India her second home. She has already bumped into him many times, multiple times, on her visits to India since he abused her. It was awkward and uncomfortable, and she does not want to see him ever again. If Keshava Bharati had stayed in Kent, England, where he had been living, she would not have seen him. But now the GBC and the CPO have arranged for Keshava Bharati to live in a place where his victim often visits. Okay, so enough of that for now. ISKCON is done. ISKCON has no way to defend its nonsense. It doesn't. Absolutely, you're right. You're right, and that's what confuses me. This is what confuses me. This is like, well, how do they get to have a how do they get to have a festival in Venice Beach? Why do they get a festival in Venice Beach when all this, everyone knows all this shit? What is going on? Shining example of spiritual master from ISKCON. Bhaktivedanta Swami Hugh Turvey said about, he is the sweetest Swami you can meet. He's the sweetest. This guy that's been molesting and abusing women since 1982. He's the sweetest Swami you could ever meet. Well, evidently, Bhaktivedanta Swami doesn't know shit about someone's character, and it just shows you that you don't know you don't know. You don't know who somebody is. You really don't. You're gonna get down, touch this guy's feet, and worship him and wash his feet and all this stuff, and he's been abusing women and children for 42 years, and you think he's freaking the sum total of the demigods, and he's somebody that you should be worshiping their feet? You don't know this person. You think because he's been chanting Hare Krishna that now somehow you put the whammy on him and now he's some fucking holy man? These guys are not holy men. You don't know who these guys are. This guy's abusing women for 40 fucking years. And this friggin' Bhakti Vikas Swami thinks he's the greatest thing ever. Well, it just shows you how much fucking stupid he is. If they can fool friggin' Bhakti Vikas, if he can fool Bhakti Vikas Swami, he can fool fucking couple hundred of his own disciples. He's got them all fooled. It's the year of Chinese snake is destroying any credibility. And it's so out there and so easy to find. It's there for everybody to see. It's in their books. It's online. It's in their Facebook page. It's on their friggin' news thing. All their bullshit. It's all there for anyone can see it. Anyone can see it. I pull it up in a second. Look, I'm gonna pull up another one. I want to pull up another one right now because I'm not done. Let me see. ISKCON needs to be deleted out of this world. Absolutely. Oops, what am I doing? Okay. Absolutely. ISKCON is disgusting. They're all. That's why I say they're all disgusting. You got this guy acting all disgusting, and when a bunch of people get together to decide what to do about him, they're just as disgusting as he is because they can't do the right thing. They just can't do the right thing. They don't give a fuck about these women that he abused, and that the fact that they got to go. That if they want to go to Mayapur or they want to go to Govardhan or where they want to go to Vrindavan, that they got to run into this guy because ISKCON cannot kick him out. So now she's going to be. She has to relive this trauma, whatever, every time she sees him. It's friggin' insane. They don't give a fuck about her. Any of these women. Crazy how ISKCON will constantly bail out its gurus and swamis, letting them continue their luxury lifestyles. Yet the rank and file devotees are thrown out when they become a burden and no retirement. I know, it is disgusting. It's friggin' disgusting. And these guys, these molesters and these predators and these people, they get preferential treatment. They get room and board. They get a place in Govardhan. They get a place in Mayapur. They're worshipped. They get to sit on a little stool in Bangalore at Madhu Pandits, and they get to sit there and talk about, oh, back in the old days, I did this and I did that. Well, of course, this was before I went to jail in Cambodia. But hey, the old days were really so much fun because we used to talk about how the women were stupid and had small brains, and we could be racist against black people, and we could do all of those fun things. Good old days, man. And then, hey, I had some problems. I went to jail in Cambodia, but hey, I got out of that, and now I'm back over here, and look at me. I'm sitting on a chair again. Lucky me. Isn't that great? Krishna is so merciful. Krishna, all I had to do was just pray to Krishna. He got me out of the jail, and now I'm back on sitting on the stool again. Freaking awesome. ISKCON will pay all its victims another huge sum. Give up your temples to your victims. This is how you will. Man, it is criminal how they are allowed to get away with their crimes. ISKCON is a criminal organization benefiting no one in the U.S. government. ISKCON is a criminal organization, but you have to be careful because Tulsi Gabbard is a Hare Krishna. So as long as she's in charge, and nothing's going to happen to the Hare Krishnas. ISKCON will pay. I sure hope so, man. I sure hope so. I remember Bhaktivedya Purnaswami used to rage against when these molesters and abusers were held accountable. Then it turned out he was an abuser too. Exactly. That's why they're all frauds and scammers and bullshit artists, man. Every last one of them. I don't care if they've been caught. I just look at them as a criminal that hasn't been caught yet. They just haven't been caught yet. They are scamming. They're scamming their disciples. They're just scamming everybody. Maybe they haven't sexually abused anyone yet, but they're still scamming. They're still con artists and scammers, and they're protecting for each other, and they're protecting predators, and they're protecting child molesters. And the more I do these videos, and the more I research this crap, the more I place the blame at all of them. All of them. It ain't one of them innocent of anything. These guys are all fucking guilty. Look at this. This is even more. Report on Keshava Bharati by the CPO from January 27th, 2024. Excuse me. This guy is still being worshipped. They got his picture on the altar in Houston, the Houston temple, and he's still being. They're complaining about it there, and again with the 8-year ban and whatever it goes. I'm not going to read all this, but they're still complaining about that. Even though he was, the CPO, the Child Protection Office, found him guilty and all this, they haven't really done anything to this guy. 8-year ban. I think that 8-year ban's coming. I don't know. Is it over? It says here that is a paper tiger, is someone who at first glance seems to be in charge, but who on a closer examination, whatever similar restrictions are put on Bhaktividya Swami over the years in Mayapur. And now Bhaktividya Swami is back. So it just shows you they don't do anything to these guys. And this was January 27th, 2024. So this was just last year, early last year. Of course, he's another repressed monk. A trash can of a bean. They all are. Now you're talking. That's exactly what I'm saying. Venice Beach needs to be alerted to the red flags of this cult. You know what? What you could do is people in LA could go and pass out flyers saying, these before they come down there, right before their festival, you go down there and just put flyers everywhere that say this is a pedophile cult, and just give evidence like this guru did this, and this guru did that, and this guru did this, and this guru did that, and this guru did this, and just flood all of Venice Beach with flyers. Let all the vendors know that they're fooling you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they got you fooled. Just like the Scientology protesters are doing in LA. They're going to the city council and going to the LA board, and they're going to all these commissions and these all the commissions where they give out permits, let them close the street, let them restrict parking, rename this and rename that. And they're going down there and they're explaining. It's taken them, they've been doing this for like over a year now, but they're going down to the city councils and the neighborhood commission and the LAPD and the city hall, and wherever they can go and speak, they go and they tell them. They go, hey, you guys are giving permits. Scientology does this. Scientology does that. You guys, and they keep at it. They just keep at it. And that's really what needs to happen. That's really what needs to happen. There's no other way. There's no other way. You got to go down to the Venice Beach, neighborhood commission, and when they have a meeting that's open to the public and you can go comment, you got to go up and stand up and go, hey, I'm really against these Hare Krishnas, man. This is a pedophile cult. It's been documented. There's been murders. There's been this. There's been that. Why do you let these people take over Venice Beach? And then they're going to cut you off. But you got to stay at it until finally someone listens. Because now the Scientology, they're finally getting they've been at it for a long time. But that's really what needs to happen is let the city organizations that allow this to go on, let them know, hey, aren't you guys aware that this is a cult? Are you guys not aware that this is a cult with all the lawsuits and sex offenses and all these things for the last 50, 60 years? Are you guys not aware that this is a dangerous cult? Like, what are you, out of your minds? I mean, that's what I would be saying. I'm not in LA, but that's what I would be saying. That's what I would be saying. ISKCON can't take him out because he knows too much about other clowns. Hence, they support each other. Sociopaths, exclusive club members only. Yeah, they will never kick someone out because they all know and they all want the same protection. It's like Trivikram supported all those gurus because now that he fell down, he's getting protected. This guy protected all these gurus, so now that he's having trouble, they're all going to protect him. They're all fucking playing a game. Retards are us. Yeah. Fuck, man. Retards are us. I'm telling you, Mike. What do you tell you? Good to see you, Jeff. Good to see you, fake human. They're done. Tulsi Gabbard will be out of Congress. She's the head spy. So, and she's a full on. She's a full on Hare Krishna. She says, I don't care what she says, and I don't care what anyone says. She is a full on Hare Krishna. Yeah, I hope they're all. I hope they are all done. Yeah, this Cash Patel. I don't know what their connection is, but Tulsi's definitely a Hare Krishna, and she's been working towards this forever. Like ever since I joined, I knew who she was, and I knew what she was doing. It was no secret, and everybody was all for it. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. She's gonna run for Congress. She's in Hawaii and she's running. At the time, I think she was running for Hawaii Congress or Hawaii senator, like a Hawaii state senator or Hawaii state Congress person. She was already in the political arena trying to get in there when I joined. It was like I already knew who she was. And I've been watching her the whole time. I've been watching her the whole time. But yeah, she's definitely a Hare Krishna. So we'll see what can happen. We'll see what'll happen. Bhaktivedya Purna Swami is back. Yes, he's back. He's back. He's back. Report him to the Venice Beach website. Yeah, like I contacted the Martin Luther King parade and said, why are you letting these Hare Krishnas in the Martin Luther King parade? Do you know what he said about Martin Luther King? And then I sent him quotes about Martin Luther King. I sent him quotes about Negroes, and I never heard from them. I absolutely never heard. I never got an answer from the Martin Luther King, the organization, the organization that puts on the Martin Luther King Day parade. I asked them, why do you allow the Hare Krishnas in your parade? And they didn't answer. They just didn't. They just did not answer me. Same pattern. Keshava fall down, resting in ISKCON Juhu. Trivikram Bang, his disciple, runs to ISKCON Juhu. It's the same playbook. It's the same playbook. And what's in ISKCON Juhu? What's there? What's that? That's Radhanath's area. They get a little whatever from, so let's look at this guy, right? I mean, we've been talking about him for a while. It's been like an hour. We've been talking about him for an hour. I was going to do a whole thing about someone else, but then, Rafael sent me this. And I said, well, and then when I looked him up, I was like, oh, let me get online right now. Let me go live right now. Let me just do it right now. I had no that's why I'm on it this time, because I was just like, this is insane. This guy is insane. So let's look at this guy, right? We'll do let's pretend like we spun the wheel and it landed on him. Because this is like a little impromptu, uh, because, basically, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. No, we're not giving him the benefit of the doubt. But let's just go ahead and pretend like we're giving him the benefit of the doubt.
So nice to see all of you here. I didn't realize Friday night maybe is a little difficult for everybody to come, but it was the only night I had, and I thought it was better than Saturday night. So here we are, Hare Krishna, better for worse. Before I start, I would like to repeat something that I have said at least 3 or 4 times in the class in the temple room.
Okay, let me just let me interrupt like I always do. He hasn't even said anything yet, and I'm already interrupting. Where am I here? Where's my? Oh, here we go. Bing, there I am. Let me just say that nobody. Gopal Krishna, Radhanath is Chowpatty in Mumbai, ISKCON. It was Gopal Krishna Giriraj. Well, it must have went over to somebody because they're not doing it anymore. So I don't know. But let me just say that this guy knows better than anyone that this is full of shit, because he has been having problems since 1982. 1982 was the first time he touched a girl or he assaulted a girl or he did something. So ever since 1982, this guy, let me get over in my area. So this guy over here, I mean, look at this guy. So this guy over here, he knows better than anyone that this is full of shit, because he's been chanting, he's got his woman-hating suit on, and he's got his little begging apron on, which is full of shit, because he ain't never been out begging shit from anybody ever. He and his shaved head and all his guru crap. And he knows good and well that it don't work, because he's been molesting, he's been assaulting women and molesting women for 41 years. So for 41 years, he hasn't been able to stop and control himself. No matter no matter what he wears. He could wear all the beads around his neck and all the orange outfits that he has, and cover his face completely with tilak, and pull his copings up really tight so his nuts go up into his whatever. He still ain't gonna control nothing. He ain't in control of shit. And he knows better than anyone that he's not in control of anything. And yet he's gonna sit there and continue to talk and tell his little stories and tell his little whatever and cosplay and pretend. This is a fucking bull full of shit. A carnival barker. Nothing but a fucking carnival barker. Yelling out, step right up, send me some money, and I'll take you back to Godhead. That's fucking bullshit, man. Pisses me off. It really pisses me off. It's just harming so many innocent people. Innocent people that think that there, maybe there is some spiritual path. There's somebody can help me advance in spiritual life. Maybe because there probably are. Everybody's in a different place in life and in their life. So maybe there is somebody who's like, maybe they feel like they got a shitty life and they need someone to help them get less shitty. So they look to a priest, or they look to a rabbi, or they look to a holy man or something, a yoga instructor, someone, maybe a coworker, somebody who can they say, hey, I got a problem at home, my kid, my teenager's talking back, or whatever. They look this way, and then they come across this fucking cheater guy who pretends to be that guy that cares, that can understand and give you an answer based on wisdom and compassion and understanding and empathy. No, his answers are based on a friggin' book that's racist and sexist and homophobic, how's he going to give you an answer? What the fuck does he know? All his answers come from a friggin' book that's 1,000 years old, and he thinks it's 5,000 years old, and it's only 1,000 years old. Or maybe one of them's 2,000 years old, but he thinks it's 5,000 years old. He's a fucking idiot. And he's gonna sit there and talk and lecture somebody about something. And on top of that, all he does is abuse. He's just been abusing women for the last 40 years. And it hasn't been just 40 years. He was abusing women before that. Believe me. Believe me.
You know, a lot of you don't come to because of different reasons, you know, work and whatever, responsibilities. But I'm really grateful to all of you for being patient with me. I've been here for 6 weeks. Do you realize that? 6 weeks. And time is just, especially the devotees who are organizing programs such as Nityananda Chandra and wanted me to do things like Wednesday night with the guests or a Sunday evening program. And I have been on a marathon, as you know, probably.
And, you know, we're fortunate that we're able to sit here and watch him sit there. This was a while ago. This lecture was 17 years ago. So while he's giving this lecture, he's being a total creep. He's assaulting women. He's assaulting, I don't know, it said something about children. I don't even know. I don't even know all the allegations that he had against him. He does. He knows. But while he's sitting there on that little chair giving this lecture about whatever the fuck he's going to lecture about, he was in the midst of being one of the fucking creepiest, most disgusting pieces of shit ISKCON's ever had. And that's who they let sit on their little chair and pretend to be guru and get to cosplay. He ain't the master of any senses. This guy ain't shit. But he sure had these guys fooled. He sure had all these ISKCON people fooled, thinking that he's some pure devotee, some this or that, some holy man. It's like that other idiot the other night that was talking about, we're above the law. We can answer our phone and lie to the police. You know, lying to the police is a friggin' crime, man. You're not supposed to lie to the police. But he's wearing orange and he's got a stick and he's like, I can lie to the police. The policeman's like, dude, you're a monk. You're a monk and you're sitting here lying and trying to tell me that I didn't see you on your phone when I saw you on your phone, dude. He's going to play Jedi mind tricks on the police officer. No, I wasn't on the phone. You didn't see me on the phone. I'm not the monk you're looking for. They're fucking idiots, man. And this guy, he got the nerve to sit there in the midst of his like most disgusting era of his life, and while he's playing holy man. While he's playing holy man.
Probably all of you, doing the corrections and re-recording some parts of the audio book that we're doing for the BBT of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. All 3 volumes, 2,500 pages.
Great. That's just great. So that's just great. That what am I double? I'm double action here. How do I get out of this again? What did I do? Oh, I hate all this newfangled stuff. How do I get out of it? How do I? Oh, here it is. Sorry, everybody. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So this guy here. This guy here. He did the audio book. He did the narration for this audio book for this Brihad Bhagavatamrita, whatever it is, right? So can you imagine having that book, the audio book for this, and it's this child molester or this abuser, sex offender guy is narrating this book. Gee, thanks for ruining our audiobook with your sexual abuse sexcapades. Now, now, we've got a sex offender narrating our audiobook. Great, that's just fantastic. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? And that's friggin' insane, man. I'm telling you. Where am I? I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark. I got to get back to the light. Come into the light, Mike. There we go. We're into the, we're into the light. What is the situation with the police you're speaking about? So this I should make you watch the other video. No. So so this guru was lecturing about how he was driving and he got a phone call on his cell phone, and the police pulled him over and said, "Hey, we're talking on your phone." And the monk laughed, and he was, well, first he said, "Hey, we're above the law. I can answer my phone because we're devotees. We're above the law." And he laughed, but it's not a joke because he meant it. So he answered his phone, and then he got the call. He answered his phone. The policeman saw him, pulled him over, and the policeman said, you were talking on your phone." And the policeman and the monk said, "No, I wasn't talking on the phone. I wasn't talking on the phone." And he said, "Yes, you were talking on the phone." And he was like, "No, I wasn't talking on the phone." And then the cop was like, "Look, Mr. Monk, the truth shall set you free. You were talking on the phone." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, you're right. I was talking on the phone." So I was commenting that they feel like they're above the law, so they don't have to, he can answer his phone, he doesn't care. And he can lie to the cop. He can lie to the cop. That's a crime, lying to the cop. Now, let me just show you this real quick. Before I change the subject, okay? Low vibe Mexican comedian. I'm totally low vibe, man. I'm low vibe. And what's so funny is that psychologist said that that's exactly what they call people who are critical of cults. They use the term low vibe. So that was just amazing. But anyway, let me show you this. Speaking of the police, it reminded me that we're not done with this Keshava Bharati guy, because while I was looking at this, it says mandatory reporting of child abuse and neglect. Okay? It says, for purposes of the reporting laws, persons required to report include professionals who are licensed or certified by the state, or who are employees of facilities licensed or operated by the state, and who, in the normal course of official duties or duties for, oh my goodness, with licensure or certification is required, have direct contact with children. The term professionals include the following: teachers or daycare employees, nurses, doctors, or employees of a clinic or health care facility that provides reproductive services, juvenile probation officers or juvenile detention or correctional officers. And then for mandatory reporters, for people who report, that have to report sexual crimes or child abuse. So it also includes, somewhere in here it includes clergy, teachers, clergy, okay, but this is not the page I wanted. It is actually a crime to not report. In the state of Texas, it is a crime to not report. Texas law requires anyone with knowledge of suspected child abuse or neglect to report it to the appropriate authorities. This mandatory reporting applies to all individuals and is not limited to teachers or healthcare professionals. The law even extends to individuals whose personal communications may be otherwise privileged, such as attorneys, clergy members, and healthcare professionals. Therefore, all SMU employees should be familiar with Texas law pertaining to reporting suspected child abuse or neglect. Section 261.101 of the Texas Family Code mandates that anyone who suspects child abuse or neglect must report it immediately. All persons who are required to make the report immediately and individuals who are licensed or certified by the state or who work for an agency or facility licensed or certified by the state and have contact with children as a result of their normal duties, such as teachers, nurses, doctors, and daycare employees, must report the abuse or neglect within 48 hours. Texas law broadly defines abuse and neglect so that every action in which a child's physical or mental health or welfare has been or may be adversely affected is potentially covered. The statute explicitly excludes an accident or reasonable discipline by a parent or guardian that does not expose the child to substantial risk of harm. So what that leads me to believe is that when these CPO, these GBC and CPO officials find out about child abuse in this case in the state of Texas, and they do not report it to the authorities, they are committing a crime. They are not allowed to just find out that some child has been abused and then not report it and say, well, we're just going to handle it through this child protection office. You can't do that. If I know that a crime is going on, if I know that someone is abusing children next door, and I know it, and the children tell me, and I see it, and I don't do anything about it, it's a crime. In some states, it's a crime. You got to, and laws have changed now so that these Good Samaritan laws, where like you can just stand there and film while someone is being assaulted and laws are being broken. So these CPO officials and GBC are getting reports and allegations of child abuse, child sexual abuse. They're investigating it and coming to decisions about these guys and banning them for 8 years or 10 years, or he can't stay in this temple, or he can't give lecture. So you know that he did something. You know all about it. You investigate it, but you never turned him into the police. You never notified the authorities to get justice for this little kid or these women that have been abused. You don't care about justice for anybody. You just care about covering up for these predators. That's all you care about. This is not a child protection office. This is a guru protection office. You're protecting these gurus. If you weren't protecting these gurus, you would have a rule that you have to call the cops. You mentioned how he ruined the Brigamrita audiobook. ISKCON has been worried about Hridayananda for years because he worked on the last two cantos of Bhagavatam, Dravida and Gopi Parananda. Yeah, that was an issue. That was an issue with. It's always an issue. That's the whole point. If you're worried about these guys when they're writing a book or doing an audio book, man, doesn't that tell you something? Swavas would disagree. Never call the cops. We handle it in-house. Yeah, that's what he told me. When I called the police, I called the police. When Jagadambika told me that my daughter, that this guy had touched my daughter, and she told her about it, because she didn't want to tell me about it, because kids don't do that. They don't want to tell their parents about it. They want to hide. She didn't tell anybody about it. She told one of her friends, and that's what the police said. That's how it happens. These children are afraid. Their little girls are. She was afraid of me. She was afraid of her teacher. She was afraid of the adults. It was another adult that touched her. She didn't want to tell anybody. But she told her little friends at school. She told one of her girlfriends, one of her classmates. She told her what happened, what was going on. And that girl was smart enough to go and tell the teacher, and told the teacher, hey, something's going on with the girl. And then the teacher confronted her about it, and then she confessed to the teacher, and then the teacher called me on the phone and said, hey, we got a problem. And I freaked out. Okay, I lost it. Okay, you can imagine how I felt. I called the police. I called the police. They didn't know I called the police. They didn't know it was me that called the police. I told him I called the police. Swavas told me, well, kids say a lot of things. Kids. This is my daughter. We're talking about my daughter. We're not talking about kids in general. Yeah, kids in general say a lot of things. No, we're talking about my daughter, dude. We're talking about my daughter. We're not talking about kids. Well, kids say a lot of things, and we can't just accuse somebody of something because what are you talking about? How else do you accuse somebody of something? People say, hey, this guy did this or this guy did that, or we see it on video. Not so many video back then, but we see it on video, or they get caught red-handed, or somebody says, how else do we catch people doing stuff? She said something happened, so we're going to get the police involved and find out if something did happen. That's what we do in the real world. That's what we do in the real world. A child says, hey, I've been harmed. We look out for the child. We go to we don't look out for the guy. The fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong? He looked at me like I was nuts. He's like, I said, I called the police. I'm the one that called the police. He looked at me like I was insane. Prabhu, you called the police? Yeah, I called the police. Oh, we don't call the police. What the fuck are you talking about? We don't call the police. What do you mean we don't call the police? No, we don't call the police. We handled it all. No. Mike's not handling it all. Mike's not handling it inside. No. Sri Mukunda's not handling it inside. And then that made me the bad guy. And that's what happens. That's what happens in the world. I'm not rolling over for your friggin' cult. Well, I'm supposed to let you guys just molest my daughter whenever you guys want to, and I'm not supposed to do anything about it? Fuck that. Touch my daughter, I'm going to fucking call the police, and I'm going to fucking try and beat the shit out of you. Because I did. I tried to get the guy. He ended up moving out of the community. He's off to the next victim. Because the police wouldn't do anything. Swavas wouldn't do anything about it. Swavas didn't give a fuck. Nobody on Watsika gave a fuck. Hey, yeah, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, it sucked. Back to my point is, who is ISKCON to say we're going to handle this inside and we're not going to contact the police? You're supposed to be contacting the police when this shit happens. That's why they want to do all this shit over in India. They don't have to contact the police. They don't get put on a sex offender list. Trivikram really didn't do, a sexual offender, but these guys can run off to India and they can go to Juhu Beach or Mayapur or wherever, Govardhan Hill or wherever they want to go, Echo Village, Tadva Darshan's farm, whatever, Madhu Pandit's farm, whatever They can run over there. We'll just run off to India. We'll molest the kids in Houston, and then I'll just boogie on over to Juhu Beach. Juhu Beach, man, that's like Leisure World for pedophiles, I guess. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like Leisure World for pedophiles, like the old retirement home where these old friggin' creepy ass gurus go to spend their last days. Fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting. These people are fucking disgusting, man. So that's my look at this Keshava, whatever the fuck his name is, Bharati guy. I had no idea I had no idea this scumbag even existed. And now not only do I find out he exists, but I find out he's like one of the worst guys. This guy's been a fucking degenerate guru for 40 fucking years. And you're gonna tell me nobody knew? You're gonna tell me that nobody knew this guy for 40 years? All these gurus are hanging out with him. He's giving lectures and talking all this shit, all this bullshit. And nobody knew. Nobody suspected a thing. All these M. Dossies and R. Dossies speaking out, and no one knew. They didn't care about R. Dossie and M. Dossie and their stories of abuse by this guy. Gonna just let him just slide right on by. Slide right on by. Just like the guy that touched my daughter. Let him slide by. Give him a pass. We'll give him a pass, Prabhu. No big deal. No big deal. That's why I say all these guys are pedophiles and protectors. If they're protecting a pedophile, well, what does that say? What does it say about that person who's like, oh, well, yeah, I know he abused a bunch of kids or he abused a bunch of women, but, hey, can he just go to Juhu Beach and just relax? No, the guy belongs in jail. In Texas is there's 4 states in the United States where child rape is punishable by death. There's 4 states in the United States where child rape is a capital offense and it can be the death penalty. And Texas is one of them. Texas is one of them. So if this guy was to rape a child in Texas and then get found guilty, he could get the death penalty. This guy very well could have committed a capital offense, and now he's hanging out in India to avoid a possible death sentence. And I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying Texas has a law where child rape is punishable by death. That's how bad it is in Texas. This is not these guys touching my daughter and touching little girls and raping little boys and all this stuff. This is serious shit. Just because ISKCON doesn't think it's so serious and they think that they can just give the guy, hey, you can't initiate. That's a fucking punishment. You can't initiate and you can't go to ISKCON. You don't get any more free nights at the ISKCON temple. And you can't chingy ching in front of people anymore. We're going to give you 2 years probation on the chingy chings. That's a friggin' penalty? Texas puts them to death. ISKCON says, oh, no chingy ching for a couple years. Well, Texas is like, no, we're going to give you a lethal injection. You're raping little boys and little girls. We're going to give you a lethal injection. Meanwhile, ISKCON's like, no, we're just going to take away your chingies for a while. The fuck? You tell me that ain't a fucking pedophile cult? And I'm not saying I agree with everything Texas does. I'm not saying I agree with the death sentence. I don't know if I do or I don't. I'm just saying, this is what Texas says, hey, you rape little kids in Texas, we can put you to death. ISKCON says, you rape little kids in ISKCON, we take away your chingies for a couple years. The fuck, man? Child molesters don't do well in American prisons. No, they don't. They don't do well. They're lucky. They're lucky to last. They're lucky to last 6 months. A lot of times they already know they're coming. A lot of times in jail, there's a YouTube guy. There's a YouTube guy that does all he does is tell you about people that go to jail and what happens to them when they get in jail because they're child molesters and serial killers. And he has a little thing and he tells you so and so went to this jail and within 2 hours they found him dead in his cell. He has all these little videos. Yeah, they don't take that shit lightly in jail. And according to this guy's videos, you don't want. That's the worst place to die. That's the worst place. That's the worst place to die is in jail. Okay, because they will torture you, and they will make it very painful before they actually kill you. So that is the last place you want to go if you're a child molester. Absolutely. So I understand why he wants to run to India. He's like, let me get the fuck out of here. I understand that. And absolutely, God bless Texas. Yeah. Again, I don't know if I agree with the death penalty, but you know what? Yeah, at this point, I don't really care. That's not up to me. I'm not making that decision. I'm not making that decision, and I don't want to make that decision. But Texas makes that decision. But all I'm saying is that if this guy committed these crimes in St. Louis and in Houston and wherever he was, and in Spain, I don't know what the penalty is in Spain, visiting prostitutes in Spain. I don't know if that's illegal. I don't know. That's not death sentence. But Swami Maha Molestananda has to show his prison papers to Rocco and the boys. They want to know why. Yeah, can you imagine that? He comes in there and he's all Swami. Like, what are you in here for, Swami? And he's like, I molested some kids. Yeah. Oh man, that wouldn't. That I don't think that would go over too good with Rocco and the boys. So let's see. Should we spin the wheel? I guess we can. I guess we can spin the wheel. End it on a lighter side. We spin the wheel of idiots. See where it lands. Here we go. Bing. There I am. How I can get out of there. Let's see. Bing. Get me over here. Okay, so we got our list. List of idiots. And we get our theme music. Suspenseful theme music. Hey, it's Jolynn. Good to see you, Jolynn. Good to see you here. Honored to have your presence here. Everyone, I'm glad everyone's here. Everybody, Fake Human, Jolynn, Erthus, everybody. I'm glad you're all here. It makes it great. Makes it even better. So we're gonna spin the wheel and see who this is gonna land on today. I got my theme music right here. Let's see if we get this going. Bingo. Oh my goodness. Dickie Slavin. Dickie Slavin is the big winner today, everybody. Big hand for Dickie Slavin. Glad you could stop by. Let's see what we got. Dickie Slavin, everybody. Big hand for Dickie Slavin. Oh, I can never get this right. It's gonna be a long time before I get this figured out. Okay, boom. Yeah. Okay, so let's find this fucker. Let's find this fucker here. Oh, Dickie Slavin, here he is. And let's see. Let's see if we got something that he just did recently. Yes, we have something that he did just recently. So this was just, yeah, this is his most recent thing, and it's just very short. Okay, this fucker. Oh my God. Okay, so just for preference, just to remind everybody, and if you, so glad to be. I'm glad you're here, man. Seriously, thank you for the email. It was really great to get an email from you, and to learn a little bit more about you. Yes, fake human with the saxophone, and we got Hayden Erickson. Yeah, absolutely. So, here we go. Here we go with Radhanath. He's gonna tell us a little bit. He's gonna teach us something, and he's gonna be very, very holy man, very holy manish in this. I want a holy man. I like a man in a uniform. Here he goes, Dickie Slavin, everybody.
Was sitting on the bank of the river Ganges. It was the summer, very hot, probably 110 degrees.
Okay, now I just want you to I want everyone to pay attention to the trance talk. If you remember, I showed you the knitting cult lady. She has some very good videos on trance talk and how these gurus and these we know them as gurus, but gurus and these self-help con artists, on all these con artists, they have a way of talking. Cult leaders, they have a way of talking. It's very and she explains that the way they talk, the cadence, the enunciating, the words, the different ways of speaking, using like coded language, all of these things, but mostly in the cadence, how he speaks, the slow talking, the pausing, all of these things. It works more on an emotional level than on a scientific level. So it doesn't matter what he's talking about. He could be talking about demon heads eating the moon, or how the mind controls the senses. It doesn't matter. It's all going to be in this trance talk cadence and in this way that it's more emotional than cerebral. It's not really what makes sense. It's more emotional.
Degrees Fahrenheit. And nobody else was there at the time. It was actually at Prayag, the place where the Kumbh Mela takes place. But it wasn't, I was just at Kumbh Mela, and the day I bathed in the same spot, according to the government, 35 million people bathed. 35 million humans bathed in that place on that day. But in 1971, when I was sitting there, I was the only one around. A hawk was flying overhead. This hawk was hovering lower and lower till he was just a few meters above me. I looked up at him. He had brown, white, and kind of gold feathers with his wings.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
And extremely sharp claws. And its beak was curved down and pointed, very sharp, and yellow eyes that seemed to be unblinking.
Fuck, what the fuck? What the fuck is he talking? Like, who cares, man? You went to the Kumbh Mela in 1971. You were sitting there by yourself on the banks where 35 million other people, 35 million other people bathed right there, but somehow you were alone. And you were alone there on the banks, and a hawk came flying over, and he had a beak, and he had eyes, and he had feathers, and who gives a flying fuck? Like, really, if you say it like that, no one cares. But if you talk real slow and you emphasize his feathers and he had a beak and you pause, very contemplative between every idea that you have, then by Krishna's arrangement, what you're saying takes on a whole new dimension. It becomes important, spiritual, and enlightened. It'll take you to another place, another level, another dimension, another planet, where demon heads can eat the moon. Fuck this guy and his bullshit. It ain't no secret on how to talk like that and talk bullshit.
Really gazing at me.
Gazing
as
at
he was
me,
coming lower
coming lower
and lower
and lower
and lower
and lower.
So naturally I was thinking, maybe he's hungry. And maybe I'm his food.
What
Suddenly,
in God's holy name are you blathering
he
about?
dove right into the water and went underwater.
Because that's what fucking birds do. That's what. And this is what I'm saying, he was sitting there on the river and he saw a bird and it flew into the water and he was like, wow. But no, he can take that and he can turn it into a story that he can tell. He's no different than my friend Radhakund. My friend Radhakund do the exact same thing that he's doing. Except Radhakund wasn't a guru. He wasn't a friggin'... Radhakund was just some guy like me. But he had a big head. He had a big head, so he thought he was this guy. This guy's got an even bigger head. Look at that big ass head he's got.
And there was a skirmish. And about 30 seconds later, he emerged from the water with a flapping fish in its claws. That fish was about a foot long, and it was really bewildered.
Yeah, I bet it was. I bet the fish was bewildered, man. It got caught by a hawk and it was about to become dinner. It was now sushi. And what is this fucker saying? Who cares? These guys are fucking con artists. He's no different than Gaurahari. Gaurahari's no different than Dave Amrita. Dave Amrita's no different than the freaking guy that was molesting all these kids, Vidyapurna. Vidyapurna's no different than Keshava Bharati. Bharati's no different than Trivikram. Right? Trivikram's no different than Gopal Krishna. Gopal Krishna's no different than Giri Raj. Giri Raj's no different than Kirtanananda. Kirtananda's no different than Tamal Krishna. They're all the fucking same. Fucking pieces of shit. How many lives has he ruined? How many children has he caused to be molested by telling their parents they should put their kids in the Gurukula? Oh, just send them to Mayapur, and then you can go sell my books. That stupid smile on his face. Guy belongs in fucking jail for the crimes that he's done against humanity. The crimes against humanity, man. He should stand trial on a fucking Nuremberg type thing. And how many people have you misled with your bullshit? And you go, I don't know, I have about 5,000 disciples. Oh, so 5,000 people you conned into believing that you're some god man, and you're going to take them on a space journey to another planet, and then they're going to take birth as an 11-year-old girl? Yeah, pretty much that's what I do. Oh, you fucking creep. You belong in fucking jail. That's what you belong in. Fucking disgusting, man. I swear to God. It's like they're not even they're idiots, but they're like evil idiots. They're like evil idiots. I hate that I have to share a planet with these people. I really do. I hate that I have to share a planet. You know, every now and then I run into one of these guys here where I am living now. I see them, not gurus, but I see these Hare Krishnas every now and then, and I just think, oh, I'm in the vicinity of some real fucking mental cases. Let me get the fuck out of here. That's what I think when I see them. I think, oh my God, they're like cockroaches. Oh, if there's one, there's got to be a bunch of them. If I see one, I know there's a temple or a restaurant somewhere nearby. I know that. So, hey, time flies, man, when you're talking shit about these guys. I swear, time flies. But yeah, this guy, a massive creep, man, and massive creep with knowing what they're doing and how they do it, and the talking, and his talking slow and talking about a fucking bird catching a fish. It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit, and these people sitting there and they're just eating it up. Give me more, Guru Dave. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. 35 million baptism. Yeah, there's more crap he wants us to believe. Well, they'll say anything. They'll say anything to anybody to get you to believe whatever the fuck they want. It's so hypnotism. Yeah, it's hypnotism and manipulation, spiritual blackmail, emotional blackmail. I mean, when you've got somebody so messed up in their head that they don't know what to do, they think everything they're doing is offensive. They're like the lowest person on the planet, but I can become the highest person on the planet if I just follow this friggin' freak. As long as I'm following this guy, I'm somebody, but if I'm not, I'm nobody. It's such brainwashing, such manipulation. I hope I've helped some of you out there to see the truth about these guys so that you can just wake the fuck up. And if you're not in it, I hope I've given you ammunition so that you can say, hey, I'm not falling for this crap. I'm not falling for these guys, these child molesting gurus think that they're a holy man. They're full of shit. So, I hope I hope you fall into one of those two categories. It'll be great. And then all of you ex-Hare Krishnas, man, we're here having a good time together. And I think I'm starting to really enjoy the fact that we all get together and have our little meetings, man. I'm really get into it. I get to share with you, but mostly I get to share. You guys tell me stuff, and I love it. Like I wouldn't have not even known about this guy and all the shit that he did, if Rafal hadn't sent me that link. So, keep sending stuff. Let me know. I'm gonna check my email and get ready for the next show in the next day or two. Thanks everybody for watching, man. Thanks everybody. Please hit the like button, hit the share and subscribe button. Let's get these videos out. More and more people need to watch these videos. And then, of course, I'm on Substack. So in case something happens with me here, you can go over to Substack. You can subscribe to my Substack, and I'll definitely stay in touch with you guys over there if something happens to me on YouTube. So again, thanks everybody. Have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, wherever you are. Have some great luck, and please stay out of a cult. Stay away from the Hare Krishnas. Warn a friend. Duty to warn. And here's me. If you have never seen this before, here's me as a Hare Krishna. Bye, everybody.